Hey, what's going on, you guys? It's Joby, and today I got a gift. My good friend, Jeremy Valander, who is a wonderful songwriter, singer, brought me this 60s, I believe he said 67. It's a Teisco, not original pickguard, but we do still have the gold foils. The body has been spray painted. It's all jacked up. The back of the neck also spray painted and jacked up. I don't think what we're going to do to this is a restore as much as a Restomod, because I absolutely love these 60s Japanese guitars. I just love them. So it would be really cool to have one that would actually function. I guess we're going to see what we can do with this thing. I will tell you that if the gold foils work, he didn't even know that he wants one of them. So I'm only going to have 2 gold foils in the end. So that means no matter what, we're doing a new pick guard. And do we actually use the gold foils in this? Do we use them in something else? The neck looks okay. It's fairly straight. I love these things. Let's see if we can make something cool out of one of them, eh? I mean, they're already cool. As long as I don't fuck it up, it'll still be cool. So check this out, you guys. I'm taking the neck screws out, and they're like, can you see the rust falling off the screw? All right, you guys. Well, first thing I did was get all the hardware off of this thing. The paint job is not awesome. So I tried to wipe it off with naphtha and rubbing alcohol, and neither of those worked. So that has determined that we are definitely refinishing this puppy. I know that some of you out there won't like that, but I think we could make a cool, quirky little guitar out of this. And that, my friends, is what we're gonna do. So here is the body. Still got the sunburst on the back, but there's paint spattered all over it and shot over it, and a lot of the clear's gone. Just wanted to show you this. It's like a miniature jazz master. That's what the finish off a Teisco looks like. If you ever wondered what your Teisco looks like underneath that weird sunburst, it's actually a really nice quarter sawn piece of maple. Separate little piece there added on to get the thickness of the headstock. Oddly enough, no string tree holes. There is a shim underneath the nut that's in there pretty good. That's why there's still paint there. But otherwise, I'd say I got that sucker pretty well cleaned up. Alright, you guys, one of the things that Jeremy said when he gave me this guitar was that he wanted one of the pickups if they worked. So I've got the pickups pulled off the pick guard now, and we're gonna test all 3 of these and see if they work. And we're gonna do so just by connecting them to a cord. We're gonna turn on our little power amp here. Sounds like it's working to me. So that is a worker. Again, we'll just hold that straight on the cord, turn the volume up. This pickup works. This pickup has 2 wires, which I'm not really sure about. I'm assuming it's something to do with the wiring, and maybe each one's a coil. So we'll try each of these wires separately and see what we come up with. Alright. A little hard to get a hold of. Alright, so here's the red wire. I'm not getting anything off that. Let's try the blue. Don't seem to be getting anything off that either. So it is possible that we have a dead pickup. Make it sound, but not, you know. Well, let's see if we can, what if we tie the two together? That's the only other thing I can think of to try, and then I'll have to like get online and see what's supposed to be happening. So either I am doing something wrong or one of the three pickups is dead. Okay, you guys, so just goofing around, and even without the aid of the internet, I figured this out. Actually, the red on this pickup is your signal wire, and then both the blue and the bare cable have to be tied to ground. If you tie both of these together and then run the single coil or the single red cable, then the pickup works fine. That's it. So the only thing that was wrong was those two needed to be joined together. So now that we know that, we have 3 good working original gold foils, which is beyond cool. I know this may disappoint, but I am definitely not going to use the rocker switches. Really, I just want the sound of the gold foils. I don't need a couple of wacky different tones from these little resistors, which ostensibly is all you get here. You get a pickup selector, and then you have 2 different caps, and then one without a tone cap. So you could maybe get an extra sound or 2, but I'm not going to use this just because it's going to be a pain in the butt, and then I have to worry about it staying working. So I think in this little rebuild anyway, I'm not going to use this. I'm going to put it away for a rainy day, and if this guitar turns out cool and I ever sell it or whatever, then I'll go ahead and give that to the person that purchases it. Alright, so here is our neck plate. How cool is that thing, man? How come more people don't do stuff like that? Just a little touch, just that little point. How freaking much cooler is that than just a square neck plate? This is probably out of sequence in the video, but I'm just recording, doing what I can when I can. So what I'm going to do right now is take these bamboo skewers for barbecuing, and I'm going to fill all of these holes with this and some wood glue. That's the only problem, they break. There you go. And the cool thing about these is, you know, don't toss them. Just use them for bigger holes. Okay, I know maybe you guys think I was silly when I did that, but take a look at these holes. And look at just how perfect those silly little barbecue skewers work for that. You know, use regular wood glue, don't use super glue, and there you go. Nothing crazy. They fill all the little holes like exactly perfectly. Okay, you guys, so here is where we are at. The body has been completely sanded. There is not a speck of original finish left on any of the surfaces. Of course, there is still some down in the cavities, which I do not care about. But now I'm going to cover this with Timbermate wood filler to get all the mahogany pores filled up and any voids to get this surface perfectly smooth so we can paint it. Alright, y'all, this thing bodywork is done. So yeah, not much left to do but paint it. She is primered. Primer looks pretty good. Pretty pleased with that. Yeah. Alright, so we had a couple of little voids after putting on primer, so those have all been filled. And now I'm gonna sand them back, and it's time to get to painting. We'll let that dry, come back and hit it again. Alright, that is gonna do it for today. Starting to actually look decent. This shitty plywood body is just like sucking up paint. I despise this damn near concave fretboard. It literally looks like a classical instrument. So I got a radius block, some fret pullers, and some frets, and figure, you know, good a time as any to learn how to do a refret. Follow along. Look at it. It literally is concave. The fretboard's going the wrong way. Okay, that came out nice and clean. Let's do the rest. staple. Hey guys, I apologize. My GoPro, the memory card filled completely up. All you really missed was another 45 minutes of putting a radius in this thing. So now this has a radius and I have put the frets in. And now that my card is empty again, we can go ahead and continue on. And there we have that. I'm going to imagine there's not a lot of Teiscos out there with Dunlop 6105s in them. Now let's get these sharp fret ends off of here. Here's a really good tip. Unless you got a really wide file, wear gloves, because you don't want to shred your hands to a zillion pieces. Well, all right, you guys, that's all I'm going to do for now. It would be silly of me to go any further with the frets because I still have work to do on this neck. So why screw them up accidentally? So I just kind of got the initial round over going on. All the ends are nice and smooth. I still have to round over all the edges, and I'll go a lot higher with different grades of sandpaper and some fret erasers, and then eventually polish it. But there's no use in doing that while I'm still actually working on the neck. I still need to glue in the frets, and there's a lot more work to be done to this actual neck. Just be silly. So we'll see more of the fretwork a little bit later, but I wanted to oil this fingerboard up a little and just show you guys what a nice fingerboard that really is. And man, just loving it. So I think that's going to be it for the first episode, because it's going to take a little while for paint to cure and for parts to come in, etc., etc. So yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed this. And this is probably just going to be a 2-episoder, maybe 3. So yeah, we will see you soon. Peace. Take it easy.